Hello! In this video we will show you what the employment process in Slovenia looks like. First, employment requirements vary and depend on the employer. Also, in Slovenia you must fulfill some conditions in order to access the labor market, which differ depending on your level of education. The first step you will need to take is to follow the procedure of employment. You'll have to comply with the following requirements: having a residence permit, having a work permit, having a health insurance, being registered for Social Security, and in case you have an education diploma, having it nostrified. That means it must be recognized as a diploma that is as valuable as a Slovenian one. Residence permit. EU citizens just need to present a valid identity card or passport in order to enter Slovenia, while nationals of a third country need to obtain a visa before entering in Slovenia. Individuals that want to reside in Slovenia for more than 3 months may apply for a residence registration certificate, which is given for the following reasons: work, self-employment or service provision, study or other forms of education, family reunification, and for other special reasons. First, temporary residence. As the first temporary residence permit must be obtained before entering in Slovenia, the application for it must be submitted at the Slovenian diplomatic mission or consulate. This permit may be extended at an administrative unit, upravna enota, if it's proven that the original conditions for its issue were met during your stay. Within 3 days of receiving a temporary residence permit, applicants must register their place of abode at the administrative unit where they live. This involves submitting documents that prove the right to stay at the address registered, such as land registry documents showing ownership of a property, a rental contract, or similar. The registration of the place of abode is valid for 1 year and must be renewed within a deadline of 8 days before it expires. Work permit. The single work and residence permit, or the single permit, can be obtained by a wide category of foreigners who want to develop a work activity in Slovenia. It can be issued for self-employed persons or for general employment purposes. In order to obtain a Slovenian work visa, you will need a valid passport, a passport photo and fingerprints, proof that you have health insurance coverage in Slovenia, a recent criminal background check, and you will need to attend an interview with the Slovenian officials at the embassy. Health insurance. Access to healthcare services for foreigners in Slovenia depends on their resident status and whether they have health insurance or not. The Slovenian Health Insurance Institute will issue you a health insurance card and health insurance number, which will give you access to all healthcare services within the Slovenian public health system. Registration for compulsory Social Security. Social Security contributions in Slovenia include contributions for pension and disability insurance, health insurance, employment and maternity allowances. In order to file applications, make changes or arrange deregistration in compulsory Social Security, applicants will have to fill in one of the M forms according to each case. Application for enrollment and recognition of foreign education. The Enigmatic Center is the entity responsible for the assessment and recognition of education in Slovenia. In order to get your education diploma recognized, you will need your original diploma and a photocopy, a certified Slovene translation of the diploma, a photocopy of a document that contains the duration, contents, and requirements fulfilled during the educational program, and a short chronological description of your entire education path, prepared and signed by you or your legal guardian. Employment procedure for asylum seekers. If you are an asylum seeker in Slovenia, you can start working 9 months after having filed an application for international protection. If you have not yet received any kind of decision during this period, and you are not to blame for the delay. The steps you will need to follow in order to get a job are: getting your diploma nostrified, creating a EU skills profile, getting a tax number, opening a bank account, and registering at the employment service. Diploma nostrification. Completed education and qualifications can be evaluated and notified at the ENIC/NARIC office in Ljubljana. EU Skills Profile. The European Commission has developed a skills profile tool which helps you create a profile of your competencies, skills, and experiences. Tax number. The tax number is an 8-digit number used to make transfers of all payments in Slovenia. If you are an applicant for international protection receiving a monthly allowance, your tax number will be arranged automatically. Bank account. To open a bank account with most banks in Slovenia, you will need a valid personal document, your current residence address, and your tax number in Slovenia. Registration at the employment service. If all previous steps are completed, you have the right to apply for the employment service. An advisor will be assigned to you and assist you in finding a job that is suitable for your skills profile. How to prepare for a job search. Research the job market, especially if it's been a while since you had to search for jobs. Work on your resume and cover letters and make them specifically tailored for each job to which you apply. Get references and letters of recommendation so you're prepared when a prospective employer requests them. And keep networking. How your personality determines the right job fit. Knowing your natural strengths and what works for you will allow you to showcase your best attributes and also ask the right questions to determine if a company's culture and environment will be right for you. According to a study, 69% of employers require personality tests in their recruitment process. The Big Five model is the most widely accepted model, which uses 5 distinct scales to recognize different personalities: conscientiousness, emotional stability, extroversion, agreeableness, and openness to experience. Employability skills. These are the skills that help you think, communicate, and reflect on your experiences. Employers want certain skills in their employees regardless of the field, and not only do they want these skills, but employment and wages tend to increase in most occupations that require higher social or analytical skills. The most required soft skills are communication, teamwork and collaboration, professionalism, self-management, and creative thinking. How to de-stress your job search. Finding a new job is like running a slow-motion marathon. You need to update your resume, search for open positions, write cover letters, practice interviewing, apply until you get hired. It's normal, therefore, to feel under pressure during the whole process. The next steps are meant to help you de-stress your job search. Prepare all documents. Once you'll have what's required ready, you will feel way less stressful. Meditate daily. It releases the hormone of happiness and reduces stress levels. Get ready for the interviews. Prepare a list of commonly asked questions and practice. Tips for successfully finding a job. The good news is you can find a satisfying job. You just need a plan, dedication, positivity, and realistic goals. Here are 4 basic job search tips for a more effective job search. Have a clear direction. Use your network. Set a schedule and stay organized. And read job descriptions carefully. These are the basics of the employment procedures in Slovenia. We hope this video was useful and provided you with some insights on how to get in the job market.